welcome to SBU TV. I'm Corinne Lettieri.
And I'm Michael Loffredo. The St. Bonaventure basketball season is in full swing, and as always, the vivacious student section is a topic of interest. Matt Moretti looked into the inside story of the group.
The St. Bonaventure student section has been extra fiery this year, and it's because they've got some leadership.
I'm actually in student government, so one of the committees I sit on is athletics, so I heard a great need for getting student participation and attendance up at games, so I kind of assembled a group of guys that I knew were like diehard Bonnie's fans. Using the name The Brown Cult, 15 SBU students plan Wolfpack events to get the Riley rocking. 700 students in attendance at each game is the goal for the cult, who use a variety of methods to get their peers to the game. A lot of what we do too is storm the dorms, so we'll go have a bunch of our guys go around the dorms and get all the freshmen out of their dorms, out of their rooms, make sure that they're coming to the game. We also started the Skeller. There's half-price drinks there and appetizers. At the inception of the Brown Cult's Twitter account, rumors circulated that the group was secretly led by Bonnie's head coach Mark Schmidt, but that's not the case. He knows that we're doing it, but he's not in any way like affiliated, but he appreciates it, I'm sure. The Twitter account has also not gone without some controversy. On several game days, they have tweeted out personal information about opponents. Included in the info was usernames to social networks, familial details, and some other seemingly candid particulars. But the cult believes that it's all in good fun, and the information that they tweet comes from public sources. It's kind of our scouting report, we call it, just trying to get students here. We usually print them out, some funny facts about them. If it's on the internet, it's open for anyone to see anyway. We just put it in front of the student's face. Keep an eye out for the Brown Cult members at games by looking at the backs of their brown shirts. They'll be leading the section and doing everything they can to ensure a home court advantage. For SBU TV, I'm Matt Moretti.
The Brown Cult says their organization mirrors similar student-led groups at schools with large basketball programs.
Believe it or not, students aren't the only members of the student section. Matt sat down with a security guard in charge of trying to tame the Wolfpack.
The unsung heroes of Bonnie's basketball games are the security guards, who have the unenviable task of keeping the student section in check. SBU security guard Jody Babb is a veteran of the section and knows the ins and outs of what goes on.
But mostly it's harassing the refs, harassing the other players, and just, trying to keep them off the court.
Babb encourages activity from the students, but knows that the home court advantage can only go so far.
If we let them go, they probably would do whatever they wanted to do. Now, we don't like anyone to storm the court. However, there are times when it does happen.
After a big win in the RC, the Wolfpack sometimes runs out onto the floor to celebrate. This was the case last year when the Bonnies upset Atlantic 10 rival Massachusetts, who were ranked at the time. In situations like this, Babb has to make sure the students are safe while they have their fun.
What I do is I kind of go out there with them. People fall down. I make sure that people stay away so I can pick them up and things of that nature. Despite the occasional headache, Babb says he loves his work with the students. I absolutely love the games, and being part of the student section is even better. I love the energy that they have, and I just love being part of that energy. I'm for the students having a good time and doing what they want to do as long as it's safe. And that's part of our job, is just safety and security.
For SBU TV, I'm Matt Moretti, and I'm going into the Wolfpack.
Babb says they have just recently enlisted a third security guard to help contain the students.
Men wearing sashes, crowns, and butterfly wings, Ryan McDonough makes sense of it all.
Just weeks ago, St. Bonaventure male students participated in the 2014 Mr. SBU pageant to benefit the Dream Factory.
We came up to plan for this event because for one of our sponsorship marketing classes, we had to host an event. The Dream Factory is an organization that raises money for chronically ill children to help them pursue a dream.
Spectators can also participate in a Chinese auction to benefit the Dream Factory.
We also included the Chinese auction, so if you're not in it, you still have a chance to win something.
In front of a panel of judges, the contestants participated in a fashion show, showcased their talents, and did their best in a question and answer round, all to try to earn the title of Mr. SBU 2014. In addition to the title given by the judges, the crowd voted to name a Mr. Congeniality. Junior Jake Pageant eventually earned the title of Mr. SBU.
My name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker.
It feels good, especially because it's for such a good cause. I know that the proceeds are going to a good place for people that need it more than I will.
Fun event, and it's something that could bring the St. Bonaventure community together and get to know their peers a little better.
For SBU TV, I'm Ryan McDonough.
To donate to the Dream Factory, visit www.dreamfactoryinc.org.
Can a body camera on a police officer be beneficial for the public and the police? Fred Alvarez figures it out.
For what? Now put your hands behind your back. For what? Because I am investigating. Because what? You're investigating. In foot pursuit. What the hell? Stop!
President Barack Obama proposed new funding for police body cameras and training in the wake of the shooting death of unarmed 18-year-old Michael Brown. I caught up with a senior patrolman from the Allegheny Police Department to find out his thoughts on the idea.
It would be very instrumental in people seeing what we go through as police officers.
Given the recent decision from the Eric Garner case, for many the question of video footage as evidence is still in debate.
In court, if we arrest somebody for saying open container, and I'm sorry, but I know you got to do what you got to do, then that's one thing. But if they get very belligerent with us, then the judge can kind of see how we were treated, how the suspect or the defendant, their demeanor, and could very well play a part in sentencing. And in that case, like how high a fine could be.
Privacy issues are also a concern.
He might back off when he shouldn't to effect an arrest, knowing that he's on camera, and even though people would see what happened, that it would have been a proper arrest, whether there was physical force that had to be used to take somebody into custody, they might not otherwise do that for fear of backlash.
Certain cities in states like California, New Mexico, and Washington have officers implementing the use of body cameras. These cameras could not only be useful for public safety, but beneficial for an officer as well.
They are less apt to maybe give us a hard time because they know they're on video. They may be less apt to run because even though we don't know who they are, we'll have a description that we could possibly find them at a later time. So I'd like to see him come out with them as soon as possible.
For SBU TV, I'm Fred Alvarez.
The program, which would need congressional approval, would help pay for more than 50,000 camera devices.
Body cameras for police are being considered all over the country. CNN reports.
Sergeant Theron Chalk doesn't start his day without wearing his body camera. The small tool attached to his glasses records a view that dash cams cannot.
We love it. It's helped us so much more than been a detriment to our department.
He says the department has had no privacy complaints from the public. The video is treated as evidence, and he says people can't get a hold of it without an attorney or a court order. But it's a different story for Kansas City, Missouri police.
Cameras look good as a cursory glance, but we have to worry about people's their rights to some sort of privacy.
Brad Lemon is the president of the Fraternal Order of Police in Kansas City. We can't show you his face because of his current assignment, but he says new policies would need to be put in place to protect the public. For example, children or rape victims.
They're telling us things that are the most tragic circumstances that could have ever happened to them, but we're recording it, and now somebody can file a Freedom of Information issue, and that lady's information is out there.
Through Missouri Sunshine Laws, Lemon says the public has the power to request that video. And though he sees the benefits, he says KCPD is not ready to put body cameras in as part of its daily patrols.
This is not the pool you jump into without knowing what it is. This is not one that you get wrong.
After the riots in Ferguson over the death of Michael Brown, the country seems to be split on whether or not body cams would help the public or invade their privacy.
Turning to the Middle East now, the rise of ISIS worldwide has the United States and other members of the international community contemplating what needs to be done. Vinny Bellardini reports.
Over the past few months, the self-proclaimed Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, or ISIS, has seized a threatening amount of territory throughout Iraq's Anbar province. American-led coalition airstrikes have helped Syrian and Iraqi troops counter the militants on the ground, but increasing support for ISIS in the area and worldwide foreshadow a much longer fight.
Now, ISIS did something that Al-Qaeda did not do. It pursued a different strategy. Its strategy is basically to control regions, to control it, to control those areas, and to establish institutions, to create a state. And they declared the restoration, if you want, of an Islamic caliphate, al-Khilafah al-Islamiyya. This is the Islamic State, which is an idea that's very, very appealing to basically all Islamic fundamentalists. This is a restoration of Islamic glory, or an attempt to recreate, restore, retrieve Islamic glory. And that's why you see now many groups actually joining ISIS, declaring their allegiance to ISIS.
The initial military response is in part due to the gruesome propaganda that ISIS is spreading all over the internet. Butcherings and beheadings of Westerners and other capturees has created a worldwide urgency for American response. But are these airstrikes the best that we can do?
Their best option is to actually treat the disease itself, not to treat the symptoms. The United States does have the option of actually going into the wellspring of Islamic, terror and fundamentalism, and that exactly is in Saudi Arabia, in the Gulf region. I think that the United States could do a lot to pressure the Saudis to stop their preachers, to stop the flow of ideas, radical ideas, from within Saudi Arabia into other regions, into other countries in the Middle East. Right after 9/11, we tried to do that, but really after a couple of months, those efforts basically dissipated. We need definitely to do that again.
With SBU TV, I'm Vinny Bellardini.
Despite Dr. Zabad's optimism for a more direct approach to the conflict, the Obama administration has recently doubled the amount of American troops in the region to more than 3,000, signaling a commitment to military involvement for years to come.
While sports medicine is constantly advancing, there is still one issue that continues to affect athletes at all levels. Corinne has the details.
Traumatic brain injuries, more commonly known as concussions, account for about 3.8 million sports-related injuries every year. However, as many as 50% of those concussions go unreported. St. Bonaventure Club sports director Rob DeFazio faces this issue every season.
Times where we don't know, and because a player wants to continue playing, and that's where it can get very dangerous.
The long-term effects of concussions are becoming more prevalent as athletes such as former Bills linebacker Darryl Talley, who at the age of 54 is suffering from dementia and depression as a result of 14 years in the NFL.
Serious effects of continuing practicing with concussions. The number of concussions can cause not only problems in the immediate future but also down the road.
This season, St. Bonaventure Club Sports has introduced a new way to diagnose and treat concussions, as well as the NCAA standard for return to play.
Standardized tool, and that is a way to do like repetitive screens and measurements to see on a baseline and also after a concussion as we can watch them improve.
A player is hurt, let their teammates, coach, advisor, me, medical people know. So we can get you the help, because we want you back on the ice field, course, wherever it is, but you got to be healthy.
Reporting for SBU TV, I'm Corinne Lettieri.
The Wellness Center encourages anyone showing symptoms of a concussion to seek help immediately.
Sexual violence is always a concern in college. Now the state government is taking steps to make campus a safer place for everyone.
There has been an epidemic of sexual violence in this country that is truly disturbing. 1 out of 4 college women will be a victim of sexual assault.
Earlier this week, all State University of New York schools adopted a sexual violence policy put in place by Governor Andrew Cuomo. Some of the key points of the resolution include a uniform definition of consent, a victim bill of rights, and more training for campus police. The new governor hopes the new outline will reduce the growing number of sexual assault cases on college campuses. a problem Cuomo says is a serious concern.
It would not be accurate for anyone to suggest that this is a SUNY problem. It is not. This is a societal problem.
The new rules will be implemented on SUNY campuses immediately. The new policy will not be required of private institutions such as St. Bonaventure, which has its own sexual violence protocols.
Last week, SBU TV ran a story from CNN regarding a shooting at Florida State University. Mike Arena reports on a coincidence that links the event to St. Bonaventure.
On most college campuses, the end of November usually brings the stress of final exams, and the library is typically a place to find some peace and quiet. That was the case at Florida State University's library until the morning of November 20th, when alumni Myron May opened fire on the students in the library. One Florida State student has his books to thank for saving his life. Jason Durfus posted these pictures of 2 books that were hit when May shot at his back. One of the books included this citation for a book published at St. Bonaventure University. The citation in the book references this Latin text, a compilation of philosopher and theologian Adam de Wodum. The book was edited in 1990 by former St. Bonaventure professors Gideon Gale and Riga Wood. Durfus said on his Facebook page that he had checked out the books minutes earlier and he believes God intervened to save his life. For SBU TV, I'm Mike Arena.
As of December 4th, 2 of the 3 shooting victims were released from the hospital, and the 3rd was paralyzed from the waist down.
Have you written your letter to Santa yet? With the Christmas season upon us, children of all ages are awaiting on the arrival of the big man in red. Anna Ciesla has the story.
Writing letters to decorating the tree. There's a lot to do to prepare for the arrival of Santa Claus.
Did you guys like decorating the Christmas tree?
Yeah, we put this. Look, we do this decorations first, then we put the candy. Yes, look at the candy canes we made.
My philosophy is
that's my little one.
That's yours? These are all the candy canes you guys made?
Yeah. We'll take presents and hang, and when Santa, like all presents, and once they hang stockings and all that.
Once the letters have been sent, the waiting game begins. And not only are kids excited for Santa to come, but they're also hoping to catch a glimpse of their favorite reindeer too.
Your favorite reindeer?
Rudolph.
Why Rudolph?
Because he has a red nose. I know a Rudolph's the red-nosed reindeer, and he has shiny nose. That's all the part I know.
How does Santa get into your house and get
The
you guys
chimney.
the chimney?
We don't have no chimney.
So how does he get into your house?
The door.
The door?
Before we know it, Christmas will be here. So make sure the milk and cookies are out and to double check the naughty and nice list. For SBU TV, I'm Anna Ciesla.
There's only a few more weeks until Christmas. I've got my list ready. How about you?
This week, the SBU Concert Choir and Concert Band performed their annual Christmas presentation in the Rigas Family Theater. Whitney Downard, 'Tis the Season.
This Wednesday, St. Bonaventure University Chamber Singers and Concert Choir performed the annual Christmas concert. Using a combination of classic and modern Christmas songs, the ensemble brought the spirit of Christmas to campus.
I think it's really important to have these types of performances on campus, especially the Christmas one, just to be able to share that spirit of Christmas and celebrate with the community. And unfortunately, students aren't on campus during Christmas, so it's kind of nice to be able to get that Christmas spirit in while we are on campus and share it with everyone.
In addition to full ensemble numbers, Catherine Black, the director of the choirs, also incorporated solo and group pieces. The concert band, directed by Leslie Sabina, also performed their own holiday classics.
Favorite song, it has to be Sleigh Riding, because when I was in high school I used to play sleigh riding.
In the end, student performers simply wanted to wish everyone on campus a
Merry Christmas
and bring the holiday spirit to campus. This is Whitney Downard reporting for SBU TV.
The choir and band performed traditional Christmas carols as well as new classics, such as Silver Bells and the Christmas Song.
With the SBU American Marketing Association's Ugly Christmas Sweater Party coming up, Sammy Arena took a look into the popular Christmas craze. What was once grandma's embarrassing gift is now a staple of the holiday season. Ugly Christmas sweaters have invaded colleges and even the red carpet, with celebrities like Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, and Kanye West rocking the festive frocks. Ugly Christmas sweaters have become an industry in and of themselves, so much so that one of the investors on ABC's hit show Shark Tank took a chance on them.
Hi Sharks, I'm Evan Mendelson.
And I'm Nick Morton.
Our company is Tipsy Elves, and our slogan is Not Your Mama's Christmas Sweater.
College buddies Evan Mendelson and Nick Morton founded their ugly Christmas sweater company, Tipsy Elves, in 2011. Their sweaters were primarily sold on Amazon until the two dove into the Shark Tank. Entrepreneur Robert Herjavec bought into the idea and invested $100,000 in their company. Since then, Tipsy Elves has grown and is projected to make $12 million this holiday season. So run out to your local Goodwill, dig into the depths of your closet, or buy the newest uglies and join the jolly Christmas craze. If you're interested in buying an ugly Christmas sweater of your own, check out tipsyelves.com.
Whenever I cook, I always make a video entitled Chef Fredo that visually describes my cooking process. Take a look at my tasty creation on this week's segment of Chef Fredo. This week here on SBU TV, we bring you a special exclusive here from the kitchen of my apartment, where I, Chef Fredo, am going to be making fettuccine Alfredo and chicken cutlets. First, we're going to start prepping the fettuccine Alfredo. So first, we're going to need 1 cup of heavy cream into the saucepan. We're going to mix that in with a stick of butter. All right, now we're going to put on top of the stove burner here the cream and the 2 half sticks of butter, I'm sorry. We're going to put it on low heat. We're going to come back over here. Parmesan cheese is inside of the bowl. We have to wait for that mixture to get warm. We're going to pour that on top of here. I'm going to turn my water on for my pasta. And while we're waiting for that to heat up, we're going to start prepping the chicken cutlets. All right, so right now we're going to scramble up the eggs for the chicken cutlets. You need that to stick the chicken into. Then you put the breadcrumbs on top of that. See right here, we had about 6 cutlets just like that. We're going to place it in the egg. We're going to place it in the breadcrumb just like this. You want to make sure it's covered on both sides. And we're going to come over here. I'm going to walk across my kitchen. And we're going to put the skillet on. About 7 just to fry that up. Get the breadcrumbs nice and crispy on the chicken before we put it in the oven. Now we have the fettuccine noodles, just a regular 1-pound box of Barilla fettuccine noodles. We're going to throw this in the boiling water. All right, now we're going to put the chicken cutlets in the pan. Then we're going to put these in the oven on 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes. And we will shortly have chicken cutlets. Now we have the pasta strained. Pasta is cooked al dente. Just means that it's cooked right for us Italians here. We're going to take the Alfredo sauce that I cooked. I'd say we cooked it for about 10 minutes. Just simmered it on low on the oven. Now we're going to dump this in right here. Right on top of the Parmesan cheese that I put in there too, don't forget. Put that on right there. We're going to watch that cheese just caramelize and melt real quick. As you can see, the Alfredo mixture is on the bottom of the bowl. Pasta's on top. We're going to come back over here, grab that extra cup of Parmesan cheese that I saved from earlier. We're going to place it right on top of the pasta here. And we're going to just mix it all up here and make it nice and cheesy. Look at that. Looks beautiful. That's the Alfredo pasta right there. Now we're going to take the chicken cutlets out of the oven. As you can see, you just want to cook them till they're golden brown. Right there we have 4 of them. We're going to get them on the plates and then, hey, bon appetit. And there you have it, folks, the finished product. We have homemade chicken cutlets on top of fettuccine Alfredo cooked by Chef Fredo. I guess let's try it now. Now that's some good eating. Folks, for SBU TV, I'm Michael Loffredo. Thanks for watching. Yum, doesn't that look tasty? If you would like to see more editions of Chef Fredo in the future, follow my Instagram account, Fredo from Buffalo.
Ever thought you knew it all? SBU TV's Ashley Earl set out to prove some college students wrong.
College students usually have time to study for exams, but let's see how they do when asked random questions on the spot. How many animals did Moses take on the ark with him?
Good question.
5 seconds.
50. Moses didn't take any animals on the ark. It was Noah.
How many animals did Moses have on the ark?
Well, God said take as many as you can.
That's your final answer?
Yeah.
How many years are in a decade?
In a decade? 100. Wait, a decade. Oh man, 10. 10.
You're in a race. You passed the person in second place. So what place are you in now?
First. Second. First.
You in first place.
I'm always in first. Anyway, next question.
Bench. Okay. Heavier, a pound of stone or a pound of cotton?
A pound of stone.
It's heavier.
It's the same. I'd say a pound of stone. A pound of stone.
What's the nation's capital?
Washington, D.C. In D.C.
What state was the Boston Tea Party held in?
Boston. Boston. Boston.
7 plus 6 is 12, or 7 plus 6 are 12?
7 plus 6 is 12. It's neither.
So what's the answer?
13.
How many letters is in the alphabet?
24. 27. Wait. 17. 26.
Mom has 4 kids. North, east, and south. Who's the 4th?
West. West.
West. Your name is West? While all 3 of these guys could tell you where the nation's capital is located, none of them knew Boston wasn't a state. For SBU TV, I'm Ashley Earl.
Feeling up to testing your brain? Check out www.lumosity.com.
The Bonnies men's soccer season ended in November. They suffered many losses on the pitch and are now losing off the pitch as well.
The St. Bonaventure University men's soccer team suffered loss after loss this season, finishing with a 1-15 record, and still continue losing after the season. Head coach Mel Mailer recently resigned after working with the Bonnies for 10 seasons. Unfortunately, he has failed to reach the A10 tournament in the past 4. The Bonnies will be losing at least 11 players this year. Perhaps with the new field, new coach, and the potential to bring in a bunch of new faces, it's a good time to start rebuilding.
Obviously it's a tough time for everyone involved in the team. We know he's put a lot of effort and parts of his life into this program, so we're all thankful for what he did for us, bringing us here. None of us would be here without him, so he's given us all a chance to play D1 soccer, which is great. But ultimately I think we all feel it's the right decision. I think we're all looking forward to next season, getting a new coach and seeing where we can progress.
Kind of needed a change. Things haven't been going well over the last couple of years. I just think it's kind of just what needs to be done for the program to move forward.
I suppose like now is like a good time because season's done. It's not like midway through the season, so he won't be interrupting the season. And he can get to know the team from this year, and then he can do his own recruiting and bring in the faces he needs.
The Bonnies are now left with mixed emotions and uncertainty going into their spring season, but remain positive as they'll have the opportunity for a fresh start next fall. From SBU TV News, I'm Dimitrievski.
There has been no word on the new coach, but the athletic department plans to hire someone sometime soon in the upcoming spring.
St. Bonaventure men's basketball looked to go 3-0 in the Big Four when Buffalo visited the Riley Center Wednesday night. In their last game in front of a packed student section this calendar year, the Bonnies came out of the gate firing on all cylinders. Buffalo shot just 22% from the field and committed 9 turnovers in the first half. By halftime, the Bonnies were up 34-18. UB made a run to cut the Bonnies' lead to 9 in the second half, but timely baskets by Dion Wright and Yusu Endoy helped SBU finish off the Bulls. The Bonnies won 72-63. Preseason Big Four Player of the Year Yusu Endoy had a monster performance, finishing with 17 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks. The Bonnies will take on Ohio on Saturday afternoon in their first road game of the season.
The St. Bonaventure women's basketball team returned home to the Riley Center this week, looking to extend their winning streak. The Bonnies took on the Binghamton Bearcats on Sunday, and Hannah Little gave the team early momentum, putting them up 12-9. Later in the first half, Binghamton ties the game on a Kim Albrecht 3, but the Bearcats had no answer for Katie Healy, who finished with 22 points, or Nyla Reeder, who made 3 3-pointers, as the Bonnies went on to win 72-54. The team then took on Colgate on Tuesday night, and Nyla Reeder once again was hot from 3, as she knocks down 2 in the first 2 minutes of the game to put the Bonnies up 7-2. Colgate would go on a late run in the first half to tie the game at 30, but the Bonnies were too much to handle in the second half, Reeder would go on to score a game-high 19 points as the Bonnies went on to win 65-49. The team is now 5-2 on the year and will travel to Brown University this weekend for a 2-game tournament.
That's it for all of us here at SBU TV. I'm Corinne Lettieri.
And I'm Michael Loffredo. Thanks for watching and happy holidays.